Councilwoman Hickey.
Thank you, Council President. This morning I sent an email to the Department of Public Works. Many residents have been a little upset with the 10th Ward. We've had tons of leaves. We have tree stumps and tree trunks all over the place. And our basins, you know, it isn't just the leaves on top, because honestly, if it's gonna have a good storm, yes, I get yelled at by my husband because I'm out there cleaning the top of the grates off myself. They need to be cleaned inside. The supervisor, John Venditto, sorry, they're brothers, was wonderful. He responded back to me immediately. He said, we're getting on top of the 10th Ward. Another issue was the trees in our schools. At School 9 and School 10, there is a resolution on tonight to hire a tree company to really tackle these problems. And he's also reassured me that by the next month or so, they should tackle a lot in the 10th Ward as far as trees go, because it is better to take care of them in the winter also. Tree pickup has started yesterday in the 9th and the 10th Ward. So not yesterday, today. Today's Tuesday. I always get screwed up when it's a holiday. So I just want to let everybody know that this out there. I've run out of excuses for them. Thank you for your patience. Things don't always go the way we need to, and I know that they do the best they can to try and get the jobs done. So, but if you have any other tree issues, please text them to me, call me, so I can get them on the list, so we get things taken care of. The other issue that a lot of residents have had are the leaves. Not about DPW just picking them up, but about the landscapers that come to the homes, and they're not only pushing out the residents' leaves to the curb, but every other job they did that day, and it's extremely unfair to the residents around the whole neighborhood, because with the wind being around, they're blowing all over. People are doing extra work, and I know most of the residents in the 10th Ward, they really take pride in their property. So no grass clippings in those either. We do have an inspector who does a very, very good job, and you know, game is on. If you're caught and your landscaper leaves them in front of your house, there's grass clippings in them, you're probably going to get a ticket. He's a tough guy, and he follows the rules, and if we don't follow the rules, things will really fall apart in our neighborhood. So I do believe in his good inspections and whatever he has to do as far as tickets go. Last month I talked about around our schools, School 9, School 10, McManus. The next day I got a phone call from the acting superintendent, Denise Cleary. Oh my goodness, what's going on in the schools? My email and phone is blowing up. So I explained to her, there's a lot of issues outside the schools. I mean, just pull in the parking lot in McManus, pull in the parking lot at School 10, the craters and potholes and the fences breaking down. I didn't get it to her last week, but I told her, rest assured, it's around the outside of the schools. We're going to work on getting them repaired, and obviously me speaking up here about them has pushed the issue to the limit that we're opening our eyes and recognizing issues. I will be getting a list together about her. Please feel free to email or text me if you have your own personal issues around the outside of the schools, so I can add them to my list. Armando, I know we're working together on this. Our concerns about all 3 schools in our wards are as important as your children are to you. They should look great, respectable, and be a happy place to walk into in the morning and leave in the afternoon. Let's see, I do have lawn bags. If anybody needs leaf bags, I don't have that many. Please just text me. Armando has them too. I know a lot of our residents request them, so we will need to request more if so needed. I do need to bring it to the attention of, oh geez, 1 or 2 more minutes. I do need to bring to the attention of our engineer and the city tonight, because I was approached by past Chief Miliano last night, who lives on Wickersham. Wonderful man, wonderful family, knew him since I was little, but the sinkholes in the streets are getting atrocious on that road, and someday we're gonna have a really bad emergency. I've been talking about this road for years. There's never any money, there's never any money. We need the money to repair this street. There's gonna be a dangerous, dangerous, tragic problem there if we don't resolve it soon. The 10th Ward needs money too, and we need to get this problem fixed on the street as it floods our entire back of Highland Avenue School as well. Many of you posting on social media, Armando mentioned about the car break-ins. Well, there were some posts that were put on there that were extremely negative towards the chief, where I've never seen him as upset as he was today. He lost his cool a little, which I think is good too. As police chief, he should. But many times there are issues that happen in our neighborhoods that we cannot really talk about on social media. I will tag the Linden Police Department in these posts sometimes, but everyone needs to be reassured. There are investigations that go on. There are many undercover patrol cars, and I know as a councilwoman, and I can rest assure the others as well, we let the police department know, whether it's the Detective Bureau, the Narcotics Bureau, but once it spills over on Facebook, plans to catch individuals that are doing wrong things could fall back on us. And I do want to let you know, this happens in other cities too. I mean, we are not alone. I drive through Westfield and I see the leaves there, and I'm surprised I'm not covered in them by the time I get down the 1 street, Clark Street. So it's not just us. It is all over. Society is changing. Communities are changing. I'm not allowed to congratulations, Councilman Blaine. Been very impressed by your words and actions tonight, and I do appreciate them. And I do wish you the best in working together with you. American Legion veterans 102 from Elizabeth Avenue went their first ceremony yesterday. Wonderful people, wonderful lunch for everybody. I wasn't able to make their bus trip to each monument, but it's really a great place to go, and they're very nice, and I want to thank them for having me yesterday. And I do have to touch on, and there was a rice notice passed on this.
Councilwoman, your time is up.
I just want.
I gave you 2 additional.
Well, that's because I'm going to talk about Tracy Birch.
We don't talk about personnel issues out
but
here.
it's transparency.
Thank you. Mayor Armstead,
The residents need to know the truth.
Council President,
Yes.
may I?
Yes.
We have council rules, as I indicated in the caucus. Council rules, excuse me, Councilwoman. Council rules require personnel matters, well, actually, the Open Public Meetings Act requires personnel matters to be discussed in executive session. So we are permitted to exclude members of the public from those discussions. We did that this evening to discuss the personnel report, to respect, if you will, that exemption. Our council rules prohibit members of council from discussing the specifics, if you will, of the personnel report. All right, so there could be some generalities, but the moment we start discussing a specific individual, in this case Ms. Birch, that's a problem. You're going to subject this city to potential litigation and other adverse consequences by engaging this discussion in public.
My apologies, Council
President. So for
President.
this reasons, I would ask respectfully that we not engage in this conversation in public.
And yes, thank you for that, Mr. Antonelli. With all due respect, I just needed to show some transparency. It's unfortunate that we can't talk about what's really going on when there's already litigation going on, and it's not certainly about me. So,
Councilwoman, your time is up.
Tracy Birch is an amazing person who doesn't deserve what she's getting.
Councilwoman, your time is up.